Hi guys, happy Thursday. So as I said when we hopped on, tonight we're going to kind of take it back a little bit. We need to ground ourselves, right? The reason being I really wanted to kind of talk about this stuff tonight is just there's 5 more Tuesdays until Christmas. And that's something that I looked at the calendar tonight and I was like, wow, like that's coming up fast. And I feel like whenever the holidays come around, like everybody is just going, going, going. We're so focused on whatever, trackers are out. We're focused on shopping. That pressure might be on to be enrolling and really upping your paychecks. And, obviously that's going to happen. Like it's a very stressful, anxious time right now. But this is why we have to stay grounded within our business. Okay. So, what we wanted to talk about tonight is just kind of like get a little bit red with you guys, remind you of consistency, all that kind of stuff. So, if anyone has any questions, put them in the chat. We'll definitely like talk about certain things, or like if you are experiencing issues and don't know how to like work your way around it, which you guys will understand once I get into this. But, so basically, Kels, so basically, what we wanted to start it off with was, the other day was payday, right? Tuesdays are payday. And when you got that check notification come across your phone, did you get excited? Did you get discouraged? Like, I really want you to think. You don't have to tell us, but like, I want you to think about what you felt when you opened your check, or like, what was that feeling right before you went to open that email or your cloud office? Like, were you excited because you're like, dang, I worked my ass off last week, or I've helped so many people? Like, what was that thought, right? Because I know for me, when I first started, I was in a very lack mindset, if that is the best word or way to put it. I come from a family that works very, very hard for everything that we have, but we have always struggled. And all of the arguments in my house were about money. So for me, I've always had just kind of like a weird money mindset, a weird lack mindset. And when I first started and I was really in that hustle mode, whenever I was in periods of time where I was like, dang, why am I not enrolling? Or, I just felt discouraged in my business. When payday would come around, I would get like almost these negative energetic feelings around opening my paycheck. And that would be the weeks that maybe I wouldn't have enrolled that much. Or I thought, oh my God, this paycheck is going to be, not as much as I need it to, because I was constantly living in this like survival mode, constantly in hustle, constantly thinking about the money part of it. And when I stopped doing that, that is truly when I focused on how can I bring value? How can I better myself? How can I become a better leader? How can I do more for my team? That's when I started seeing my checks go up. Okay. So when you saw your check on Tuesday, I really want you to think, how did you feel? And if you got a check that was, okay, or you were happy with it or whatever it was, did you feel as though you earned that check? Or did you just like really not show up that much? Like, think about those feelings, right? Because for me, when I have weeks where I'm like, dang, I really feel like I could have done better, instead of beating myself up about it and, wanting to throw in the towel and thinking, oh my gosh, like this isn't for me, I have no choice at this point but to continue trucking forward, right? This is my full time job. I've been in this for almost 2.5 years at this point, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm grounded here. So when you look at, your back office or your paycheck or your trackers or whatever it is, like, do you feel like you've earned those things? Are you showing up day to day? Are you happy with your work ethic, right? And the reason I'm asking this is because I've had so many conversations lately with girls in my downline who are saying, I want 12K, or I want this by the end of the year. Or, when I ask about goals in the chat, they give this like humongous, like amazing goal that they're working towards. But on the other end of that, it doesn't seem like they're maybe showing up as much as they could, right? So I want to ask you, are you tapped in? Number one, meaning, are you in your team chat, right? I know my downline, we have a Telegram chat. Guys, you should be checking that at least once a day. And it's, the IPAs are going in there, any updates, any things that are going on, you're going to see that in there, right? If you feel like you are not getting the community sense of it, then you need to tap in. Because I know for myself, I'm in there every single day. Hacey's in there. Lynn's is in her chat, right? We show up every single day at this point because, well, for one, when we signed up, we realized this wasn't just for us, right? You're taking on a team. So we're showing up for you guys. If you say you have big goals or you want to achieve X, Y, and Z, we need you to be tapped in. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about, number one thing that I am doing when I am signing up new promoters, and we've talked about this, you guys should be doing this as well. Ask what their why is. Okay. That is going to be so, so huge when it comes to these like come to Jesus moments in your business where you're like, what are you fighting for? Right? If you're having hard conversations on the back end, or you feel like, I don't know why I'm doing this, it's not working, or you're discouraged or whatever, you have to remember why you started this. And I really want you to ask yourself, have you been showing up the last 2 weeks, right? Just like we talked about on Monday's call, you should be running for VIPs every single 14 days, even if you are not in your VIP period. So when you're working your business every day and you're showing up for that business, are you showing up to get to that end goal that you originally started for? Or have you just become into this like almost habitual routine of just like doing mundane IPAs and posting a photo because you have to, because you have to do that, right? But are you really putting your heart and soul into it? Because at that moment, if you're not, you're truly not going to give the value that you're trying to give, right? Does that make sense? So are you showing up for what you said originally your goal was? And are you working towards that goal every single day? We talked this morning on my team's power hour about, having to show up every day, even when you don't feel like it. And I know for some of you, and for honestly, this should be for everybody repetitive to hear, but if you're not showing up every single day, you're not going to hit your goals. Right. I talked about this on my this team call this morning, is like this business, guys, the resources that you have, the compensation plan, the CEOs, the products, like it's almost to the point where it's inevitable for you not to succeed unless you just stop showing up. If you don't try and you don't put your heart and soul into it, obviously it's going to be very, very hard for you. But if you do stay committed and you have your eye on that end goal, whatever it may be, if you want to save for your kids' college, or you have debt to pay off, whatever that might be, I need you to put visuals around your house, put visuals on your phone. If you don't have materials to make an actual like vision board, do the little widgets on your phone with pictures and such, anywhere that you're going to be able to see that every single day to remind yourself of what you're working for, because it's not always going to be easy. And you're going to have days where you're like, wow, I don't feel like doing this, or I'm so tired and agitated, I don't want to be on my phone, right? We all have those days, but you have to be consistent. So with that, I'm going to let Hacie talk a little bit about consistency, because she has definitely gotten to the point, like, and let me, just say, guys, she is the perfect example of somebody who like was a pain in the ass for so long, because I would tell her things and she's like, okay. And then next thing I know, she's coming back to me and she's like, oh, guess what? I did this and it worked. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I've been telling you that. So when you find that groove and you find, your routine that you're having day to day, you're going to build that consistency where you realize, dang, like all I have to do is show up. So Hacie, take it away.
Okay. So I have a lot of little notes from all the things she said, but guys, listen. Okay. Last year when my check showed up, there's like now in the place I am in now, I know why they were $0 90% of the times. I know why I only made $800 last year, because I didn't do IPAs till December. From April to December, your girl did not do a minute of IPAs because I thought they were so dumb. Okay. I didn't want to listen to Christina. I didn't want to listen to all my leaders. I ignored all of that because I did not want to do IPAs. But the second that Christina, one, pulled the plug and stopped answering all my questions because she was like, sis, you're asking me the same shit. And two, Lindsay did her boot camp. And I was like, I need to get off my ass and I need to stop and I needed to let it click. And I started doing IPAs. Stop waiting to hear a leader say something for 8 months before it clicks. Stop waiting for us to tell you to do IPAs, to do the lives, to show up on team calls for it to finally click. Because just let it freaking click. Let you hear it one time and just do the damn thing, dude. Because like last year, like I said, I know why I didn't make money. I know why I seen that, because I was not putting that due diligence in. But I knew my ass was not giving up. I knew since day one, I was rooted here. I was not going to stop showing up. I was not going to stop posting. It did not matter about if it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen because network marketing was the ultimate dream. Like, I knew this aligns with what I wanted, and I knew Thrive was the perfect company for me. Our leaders were exact, like everything was aligned. I was like, I'm not giving up. So it just took it all clicking for me. And then when it clicked, it happened. Everything happened. My team started growing. I earned the cars, the trips, everything like that. So if there is something that you are putting off, dude, like, you have to just say, you know what? I am done listening to my leader tell me to do something, and I'm actually going to start freaking doing it. It's going to be scary at first. It's going to be icky, but the more you move that muscle, the better you're going to get at it. But you have to start somewhere. Okay. And like, now when I get my paychecks on Tuesday and I get my bonus paychecks, I'm happy as shit. Like, I am happy as hell. But guess what? I'm not shocked, because I know my ass put in the damn work all the time. Like, I know I show up. I know I'm listening to trainings. I know I get on the calls. I know I get on power hours. I know that everything that my team is growing and stuff like that, it's because of how I am and how I put in the work daily now. I don't want it to be a shock when I hit a rank. I don't want it to be a shock when anything happens. I want to do it, and not just me do it, but take my team with me. I feel like it's so selfish to hit a rank and not turn around and want to help other people hit a rank with you that helped you reach that goal. Okay. And with that being said, guys, you need to like actually make the decision that this is no plan B. There, like, if you want this to be your full-time income, until you say, you know what, dude, like, there's no plan B. Like, yes, I have a full-time job, but I am showing up. Lamar, she's still on here. She is at work right now, and she is still on this team call because she knows she's going 4K this month. She is showing up because she wants this to be her plan A one day. So she shows the hell up. Okay, Autumn is on every single power hour, morning. And I'm like, dude, yes, like, they are going to show because they want this to be their plan A. So you really need to ask yourself, am I treating this like it's going to be my full-time job one day? Am I putting in the work now? Guys, at the beginning of network marketing, this is when it's grind time. This is when you have to do hours, have discipline, make sacrifices, wake up earlier, stay out later. Do those things, say no to things. So one day when you get to Lindsay and you get to Emma status, you don't have to worry about it. You can actually be selfish, take days off for help, like for mental tech, like all of that stuff. You can take days off for help, test days. Like right now, your test days are building you. Your test days is what's going to help you grow to be the leader that you want to freaking become. If you do not go through test days, you're never going to grow. You need these days to grow, and you need to show up for them. They come, and I call it, like, if you listen to Andy Frisella, it's the bitch voice. When you don't want to do something, your alarm clock goes off at 5 o'clock and you know you need to wake up so you have time for yourself before your kids wake up, listen to the bitch voice and say, you know what? Nope. I have bigger plans. I have a bigger why. And that's why you need that why. You need that why for your test days, because if you do not have a why, you're going to give up. And if you think about giving up, this will never be your plan A. This will never be your plan freaking A, guys. And that's when you have to be so serious with yourself. That's why you have to be honest and say, what do I want? Do I really want this? Do I want this to be my full-time income? And then you have to start putting the actions behind that want, because it's not just going to come from like affirmations and all that is great, but you have to put in actions behind that affirmations. Otherwise, it's just freaking words, dude. Okay. So stop just saying that I am this, I am that, and say, I am a 12K, I am a 40K, I'm an 80K, I'm a 4K, because I put in the damn work and I deserve this. My hard work and consistency and discipline, I deserve this. Okay. So, oh yeah, last thing. Chats, guys, like, listen, the Limitless chat on Telegram is all day blowing up. Like, I love being in that chat because you see the fire. Hustle, honey, y'all, get y'all ish together and start being in that chat more. Like, it's insane on how many people we have in there. And 90% of the time, it's dead quiet unless I make a funny ass joke and I'm hasty, and then it gets blown up. Okay, like, honestly, like, you should be sending screenshots. This shot should be blowing up right now and having fun with it. Like, put the fun in network marketing. Stop. It is a business, but this is a fun ass business to freaking work. We working together with our friends. Like, That is dope. Imagine building a 6-figure business with your best friends. It should be fun. So have fun with it, blow up the chat, hype each other up, and let's put the passion back into all of this. Okay, I'm sorry. I ranted.
You're good. I love it. I love it. Yeah, and like when she says that, guys, like I don't want to confuse you because I know sometimes we're like, don't be in the chat all day, but when we say that, we mean like don't be in the chat talking about like what your ex-boyfriend did to whoever, you know what I mean? Like that stuff's for side chats. Go do that if you want to do that. That's totally fine. But when we say blow up the chat and get excited, I mean like literally, if you're in my downline, I want you screenshotting your potential conversations. I want you sharing that with us. Like if you, especially if you need help or if you're not sure what to say, like I have helped Hacie, I have helped Kelsey in the last like few days. We have gotten potentials on the radar ready to purchase tomorrow. Like yeah, I think she said 8. Like we have three ways are so key. And I know we talk about this a lot I think the last couple weeks at least with Lindsay. Getting, you know, in your enrollers chats, like getting them in, let that confidence shine. You know all this, right? But let's do it with the team. Like when you're in our chat, you know, don't be bothered to come in and talk drama or whatever the crap. Like I don't care about that, but have the potentials in there. Share what you're struggling with. If you have questions, don't be afraid to speak up. Like that's the stuff that we want in there because the more that you do that, the more we know you guys are learning and needing help, right? We can help you do that. So definitely blow up the chat, share your potentials, get insight on conversations, all that good stuff. And then another thing, guys, like Hacie said, dropping the excuses is so big. And like I know that there's obviously those moments when you are like, you know, stressed out and things aren't going right and you're having those moments. But at that time, instead of being like, I can't do this because of this, whatever, like just take a day. Take a day, just pause, right? Get your mind right, get back into your groove because you will not execute and be able to perform the way you need to perform if you are feeling like shit in the headspace. Okay. It is okay to take a day off. But if you're taking multiple days off every single week and you're not being consistent as it is, like that's where the issues are basically. Okay. So drop those excuses. If you need to take a day. But other than that, right? If you can't hop on a power hour or a work with me because you're at work, that's totally fine. But watch a replay when you get home. Make sure you get that stuff done. You know, if you don't have any pictures, like don't sit on the couch and be pissed off because, oh, I have nothing to post. Take a day to go out or an hour to change your shirt a few times and have someone take photos of you or get a tripod. They're $5 at Five Below. Go the extra mile. Okay. Every single excuse that somebody in my downline can give me, I literally can flip it around and give them a way to find the solution to that. It's gotten to that point where I have done so much in this business and I've dealt with so many of the same things that you guys are dealing with that are letting you get discouraged that I've had to have that moment where it's like, okay, if I want this to work for me and I want to be up on stage holding that 200K sign at Palooza, then I need to drop the excuses and get to work, right? Figure out what you're not doing. I promise you, you're not doing everything. I don't even do everything, okay? I don't. I have to sit and have these come to Jesus moments with myself as well. But at the end of the day, if you don't do that and take that first initial step to say, okay, I've sucked for the last few days, I haven't been consistent. How can I be better? Yes, you can have that moment to smack yourself across the head and say, oh my God, like, why wasn't I consistent? Whatever. You can have that moment if you want, complain to yourself for 5 seconds, but then get it back in gear and get it together. Figure out a game plan. The number one thing that people tell me when they're like, oh, I don't know, like what to post and I don't have pictures. And it's like all of that stuff can easily be fixed with one thing, a routine, right? Every single week, having a set way that you live your day or live your life that is going to allow you to do the small things that you need to do throughout the day to build your business. And I have been in positions where I was a full-time student. I was in my management position at Loft when I was building my network marketing business. Like I have been in so many different seasons of my life where I was building a business and every single one of them was hard in its own ways. But the only way that you are going to continue to power through and excel in those situations where you can coach someone else in the future through that is by going through it yourself and going through it with your head up and saying, you know what, this is not going to be easy, but I'm going to make it happen. Right. For me, when I was working full time at my loft job, I was the manager there. I literally would wake up an hour earlier. I would get ready, right? Take every moment of your life and think, how can I bring value with this? Right? Your Instagram does not need to be flashy pictures and this and that and all that bullshit. All it needs to do is share your story and share what you're trying to do. Right. So I would wake up in the morning and getting ready for my day, I would go live and I would take my products as I was getting ready and I would share whatever promo I had my hands on, whatever, thing was going on in the company. I would take that time that I had while I was getting ready and I would multitask. Yeah, that's the word. I would multitask and I would record myself and I would talk about that. So that way on my way to work, I could put my phone in my little tripod, drive, and I would have my phone on hands free and I would talk to my story, and continue to go face to face. A lot of times people say that they're like bad at creating graphics or they don't know what to do to put on their story and they don't have the words. Guys, you don't need to make graphics if you feel like you're not good at graphics. Use your voice. Figure out what you are good at and then do more of that, because that's where your power lies. That's where you're really going to have the loudest voice to be bold about what you have your hands on. So really think to yourself, how can I become better? What can I do more of? If that means taking an hour every Sunday night, once a week with a notebook to write down your whole week and figure out what you're going to post and what you're going to talk about on your way to work, then do that. Okay. But it's not going to get done until you take the time to do it. And I know it sounds hard at first and overwhelming, but get with your leaders, get with your mentors. I am here to help you guys do that. Hacie is here for that. Lindsay's here for that. I literally have had moments where I've sat on Zoom with Lindsay for 2 hours, bawling my eyes out about whether to drop out of college or not. Like, we are not here just for business. We're here for all of those things. And that's what's going to help you continue to excel through life in general, which in turn is going to help create better routines and just a better outlook for your business. If you have a clear headspace and you're working with people through those hard obstacles, you're going to find, solutions for that. Okay. The next thing that I wanted to talk about.
Wait.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm sorry. No. Because I was saying this, guys, like what she means by like stories and stuff. I know my captions. I am not a good person at captions. So what I have been doing, because at the beginning, I felt like I was way better at captions. Like when I first started, I had that, like, I was more, it's not that I was more passionate, but like, I feel like it was that new, like, posting. I was bold. I was being very, very bold. So what I would do, like recently, because for some reason, captions is just not my strong suit right now. I'm going back to when it was, and I'm reusing my captions. Nobody's going to know. Nobody is that focused on you that they're going to be like, oh, she reused that caption from 6 months ago. You're not that like important. Okay. So if you are not good at something, screw that. Like, don't waste your time overthinking it, overdoing it when you can actually work in your business. Double on your strengths and work on your weaknesses. If your strength is posted, like going live or going face to face, do that. If your strength is reels, do that more and then work on your weaknesses. Like, okay, so I know I need to do an opportunity story. So 1 hour every week, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to work on opportunity stories. Okay. And if you struggle with that, look at people for inspo. Do not copy and paste, but look at other people from inspo. Okay. I promise you, a lot of us do this. We look at other people. We're like, that's a cute thing. Do not copy and paste their words because that's nasty, but do your own picture, do your own fonts, do your own vibe. Okay. So also, Christina Tammy does her organizing Zoom every single Sunday. Jump on that, guys. I'm a full-time thriver. Christina's a full-time thriver. She's Lindsay is, and they still do a routine. They still organize their day. So if you are a busy bee and you have a lot of things on your plate, if you are not organizing and sitting down and having a routine and a schedule, you're going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to feel like you never catching up. You're never going to feel like you're productive because you have so many things you want to do, but you're not doing it because you have no plan. So make a plan, and your plan and my plan might not be the same. Your hours and my hours might not be the same, guys. Okay. So figure out what works for you. Okay. And I told my team, power lifts. Okay. So pick 3 things every day you are going to do for your business and do all three. Okay, and it should not be your non-negotiables like post-mod products and do like IPAs. That should be non-negotiables, but do three things that is going to grow your business every single day. And if you cannot do that, write an L. If you do not do all three, I want you to go back at the night and write an L in a circle. And then if you do all three, I want you to write a W in a circle. And if you do all three, guys, that's a win for the day. Pat yourself on the back. You freaking did it. But you have L's. Do not get mad at your paycheck when your paycheck is not seeing what you want if you cannot do simple things to grow your business. Okay, so that is something that I feel like it's simple. It's three things. You can do three things, whether it be stay up later, stay up, wake up later, stay up later. You know what I mean? Wake up earlier, stay up later. Hello, Hacie. Oh God. But that's what you have to do. Put in that work, guys. And like, to make me not burn out, something I've been doing recently is I take off on Sundays. Sundays is me days. I'm not heavy in my stories. And that way I don't burn out. I don't burn out, and I'm always like in a good mood because I take my day on Sunday to not post on my stories, to not be heavy and all that stuff, and to just be present. And that's something I feel like everybody needs, is that like reset sometimes. So, okay.
Thank you. Yeah, guys, resetting, so important. Okay, what was next? Let me see. Leaning on your enroller, we talked about that. Resources and guides. Okay, this is another thing I feel like, again, repetitive, but it needs to be said. There is so many resources in Facebook pages, in your back office, in the Telegram chat. Like, I know for me, guys, if you're in my downline, our shared content thread, literally, I started that in, I want to say, September of 2019. So if you scroll, and I have it set up where it's like literally like it doesn't disappear. So if you scroll and you keep scrolling, there is tons and tons of opportunity story inspiration, before and afters, product info, like screenshots and stuff. Like, honestly, if you are looking for an answer about something, we always say in my team, 3 before me, right? Like, there are so many ways that you can find the answers to whatever it is you're looking for. If you're new and you are not sure about products and stuff, obviously ask your enroller, like at some point, how they would explain them or whatever if you need that. But please, 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 again, I know we talk about this every week, but go to the team pages, go in those resources and get to know the products, study them. If you have never tried them, see if your upline has a sample, if you want to try a sample first, or if you're willing to order it with your credits, or you have, money out of pocket, you want to pay for it, go ahead. However you want to get it, just really get into product knowledge, because that is going to help you with your own testimony, right? That is so big in this business. A lot of times people are like, I'm not enrolling customers. And I'm like, okay, well, when I go to their page, I look at their stories and it's just all before and afters of like other thrivers, other people. It is so huge to have something to show your audience of you physically, in the face, in the body, in your energy levels, whatever it may be, right? Figure out how you can display that to your audience and talk about it, because that is what's going to get people to trust you with the products. If you have used them before and you have experienced whatever you were looking for or whatever testimony you have, because obviously our products are not just for weight loss, right? I use them for energy and weight gain. People use them for just energy, mood support, whatever, right? Figure out why, again, your story, there's that why again, why you started using them, and then figure out how you can share that, because the more you share that, the more people are going to want to know about the products. It is like this, honestly, this thing I tapped into like a year and a half ago. I became so customer heavy still until this point, because I lead with the products every single day. And when I first started my business, the best thing that I could have ever done for myself was literally every morning I was waking up, no matter what time it was, no matter if I had work, school, class, whatever, I was making sure to go face-to-face on live video. And I was talking about each of the products, what they did for me, how I felt on them. If you are not doing an opportunity story or opportunity live at least once a week, talking about either the products or the business, you need to start. like just like Hacie said, her captions, right? She said when she first started, she was super bold. That's also something that I am starting to switch up, which is again why it's so important to audit yourself every week during that routine, because you're going to look at your stuff and you're going to be like, wow, like I haven't talked about this in a while, or how can I be more bold? And when I first started, if I go into my Facebook memories, I was literally so bold with the business and talking about, you know, what it's done for me and my story, the vulnerable parts of my financial story. I was talking about that constantly every single day. And I started looking at my stuff this week and I was writing out my plan and I was like, how can I be more bold? And I know who's really, really bold, guys. Lindsay, hello. Go to her Instagram. Just like she said, take inspiration. Do not copy and paste. Do not write the same exact thing, but look for like value in her words of like what you relate to in that, and think, how can I be bold? Okay, Lindsay really emphasized, you know, what they could have out of this, or what the products can do for somebody in X, Y, and Z pain point, right? So I started thinking, okay, I'm going to really change up how I'm writing my captions this week and try and be more bold like I was in the beginning. I have gotten so many potentials reach out to me, even people who I haven't talked to on social who've had my number from like months ago, have seen those posts and reached out to me directly because of how bold they are. So let's get back to the basics of remembering that your testimony and what this is doing for you, above all else, is going to speak volumes to the people who need this. So please do not be afraid to share that. And then okay, be hands-on in your season of building. So obviously, as you start to get people in the system for promoters, you know, maybe you're building your team. If you are in that season where you're like, I want to build a team, and maybe you're not in that season, maybe you're going through something really hard right now, or your time isn't really like allocated much. Like, think about the fact that when you're bringing people into this, guys, obviously Lindsay just poured her heart and soul into those guides for us and they're absolutely amazing. Use them, please, please, please use them. They're working so, so well. But aside from that, also do not just post, you know, people into those guides and like just hope and pray that they're just watching them by themselves. Like, we have to be hands-on. And this is something that was like super, super new for me when I went right before I went 40K, because I was super bold with a girl that I went to college with. And she became one of my 4K leaders. She's not here anymore. But when she first started, she made a post on Facebook about how like Sally Mae was, you know, up her butt for her student loans or whatever, because she had just graduated. And something in me told me to be bold. So I commented on it and I literally just said, work with me, LOL. And she reached out to me and we started talking. I got her set up. And she was the first person in Thrive from my hometown that I knew personally that had joined me. And I was like, all right, I really need to make sure that this girl knows what she's doing and that I help her to the utmost extent that I can, because she's from my hometown, right? Like, you don't want to have that person in your hometown who joins you and then it's like, oh, it doesn't work because they didn't work or they didn't get properly trained, right? Correct? So I really, really wanted to help her. And that was the first time in my business, because we all know I was here before in 2018, and I simply built my business in 2018 with Instagram polls. It was a new thing. Stories were like 800 to 1,000 views a day. And I was like, yes, like I'm enrolling people. But that was the bare minimum that I did. How I work my business now compared to when I first started is light years different. And when I am doing those things now, I am making sure that I'm super, super hands on. Obviously, the guides are packed full of so much amazing information, all that stuff we want to use still, but don't let that be like the only thing that those people are getting. Because when they have that relationship with you where they can jump on a Zoom and ask all of your questions, you know, get that out in the blue, get their concerns off the table, that is going to get you so much farther along than just like texting constantly. So really make time for the people who you are bringing into this. And if you don't have the time to truly pour into somebody else, or maybe your mental space isn't the best right now, maybe you should just kind of focus on customers, right? And maybe not shooting to bring in as many promoters as you are wanting to if you don't have that time or you're not willing to sit down and really, really help them. Because, you know, just like Hacie said, I don't know if she said it on this call actually or this morning, now that I'm thinking about it, but she had said at some point, you know, when she first started really excelling in her business and blowing up with her opportunity, like I remember verbatim, one of the first things that she said to me was like, yes, I want to go to the next vacation or whatever, but really above all else, I want to help someone succeed. And like when that is truly your mindset and you are giving your heart and soul to these people, and I'm not saying to the point where you're going to burn out, right? Obviously have that position where you're always putting your business first and working to constantly grow your business. But when you're bringing people in, make sure they're getting what they need from you and that you're tapping into them, right? That goes back to that whole, are you tapped in? Are you tapped into the Telegram? Are you getting on power hours? Are you getting on work with me's? Okay, now are you checking in with the people you're enrolling? That goes for promoters and customers, right? You can't just bring them in and just kind of like, okay, cool, I got your volume, now I'm good. Like, this is a business, right? If you want that retention, again, you have to put yourself in the CEO pants, pull them up, and really decide, okay, what do I have to get done today that's going to make sure that my customers are taken care of, that my promoters are taken care of, that they know what they need to be doing, you know, helping them create opportunity stories and having three-way conversations with them. Three-ways are literally like how I onboard people. I'm like, okay, anybody interested? Awesome, get them in a three-way with me, or send me screenshots so I can help you reply. If you are not being that hands-on with your team, you cannot expect them to be running like you want them to be running, okay?
Me. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna be fast. So guys, when she goes back to the products and like how she was leading with the products, I don't want us to be like, I'm a promoter. I want to be like, we're a thriver. Like, you are a thriver. You're not a promoter. Like, you want to fall in love with the products, guys. So really get back to that. And like, if you're not obsessed with the products, I highly advise you to like go and actually look, like listen to product videos, build belief around it so you are obsessed with it. Build your own testimony. My testimony is not a crazy weight loss testimony or anything like that. It's gut health, it's migraines, it's natural energy. It's like you can see my face actually come to life when you look at my pictures now and then. So figure out your testimony, like she said, your story, and like learn it. If you want to be a leader, guys, and you are so quick to jump into a chat to ask a question, you are going, how are you expecting people to come to you? Like, you're supposed to be a leader. Like, people are supposed to be coming to you to like for questions and help and stuff like that, especially the basic stuff that you can easily find through Before Me in the Facebook groups. Like, if you're new, I'm not talking about you. If it is something that like you truly have looked and you cannot find, yes, actually chat. But how do you expect to lead a team if you are so quick to not want to like lead yourself? So lead yourself first and figure that out. Oh yeah. So when it comes to like onboarding people, do the onboarding with them. Like, if you're like, hey sis, like watch this video and let me know your fives. Go over it with them. Constantly learn. Never stop being a student. Because also, like, and I know y'all know what I'm talking about. When you watch a movie the first time, when you watch it the second time and the third time, it hits different. You see different things. So constantly, you should be going through the guides every time you bring in a new promoter. Constantly relearning, going back to the basics, being a student again. And remember that they picked you. Like, out of all the thrivers that they probably could have picked before they signed up with you, they picked you. So remember that and have belief in yourself and realize that like they trust you, they believe in you, believe in your damn self, and help them. Okay, that's all.
Yeah, guys, like honestly, I feel like that truly wraps it up, but it's just like everything that you want to gain in this business by the end of the year is obtainable. I don't care if you just started, if you have been here for a year and not much has happened for you, like you can decide right now that you are going to put in the work every single day, no matter what, and you're going to make it happen. You can decide to have a routine. Every single thing in this business is a decision. And, you know, when I talk to people who are either family or friends or whatever, and I bring the business up and they're complaining about their job or whatever, I'm like, you know, we have this thing here I can help you with, you know, kind of thing. And people are like, oh, I can't do that because X, Y, and Z. Like, they're choosing not to do it for whatever reason that may be, but it's a choice. You know, I could wake up in the morning and say it's easier for me to just not work my business and to not get on calls and for me to just lay in bed or go do whatever else I want to do. Like, that's a choice. It's so much easier for me to do that than to be literally working from eye open to eye close. But it's my passion, and I do it because not only do I love it and I love what this has done for my family and what it does for all of the families that this is impacting, but it is so ingrained into my life now that it's just like it's what I do. And that is why I'm successful, is because I'm so incredibly consistent. Like, from day one, this has been no plan B. You know, I didn't finish college because I literally cannot stand school. That's just who I am. And I've realized as an adult that I have ADD. So it's like, oh, that's why school was hard for me growing up, right? But I made decisions that this was going to be my full-time thing years ago when I found it, and I fell in love with what this can do for your life. And I saw that vision and I held on to it so hard that I was like, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what, you know, is happening right now. I'm working for the future. And every single day I show up and I work my business like, you know, it's day one again, because that is truly what is going to continue to compound it and build that success for you, is you showing up. And if you can't simply make that decision to do so, it's going to take you so much longer to get where you want to go. And I know with my team, if you're in my downline, like, decide. Like, I show up every single morning. I see in my Telegram who's showing up. I see who hasn't looked in over a month. I see who, you know, isn't tapped into the calls and the trainings. Like, I know. And I know where to put my energy as a leader as well, because I want to pour into those people that are showing up every day, just like Autumn, who's on every single power hour, right? How Kelsey's showing up, how Virginia is, you know, doing all these before and afters and killing the game already. And she's just started, right? Like, I see who's showing up and I want to help every single person. So make sure that you're showing up if you want this, right? Because we're in crunch time now. It's the holiday season. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for a level up. And I know that when this new year comes, crazy things are going to be happening. We're dropping dairy-free shakes. We're going to be going to Punta Cana. Like, there's so much happening. And those bonuses that you see that come around hopefully once a year, because I don't think they came out in 2020 now that I think about it, but you know, when those bonuses come around, you want to be as close to where you're going as you can be, because that's when the moment it drops, you're not freaking out because you're expecting to earn those things because you've already put the work in, right? People love to join during bonus season and say, oh, I'm going to run for this bonus and this and that. And it's like, we have a bonus business. Truly, there is so much that you can gain without a bonus. I didn't even earn a bonus this year, and I usually earn a bonus every single time. I did not earn mine. And I still am sitting here making a full-time income with just the compensation plan alone, okay? It is possible. And just because you don't earn something one time or because you miss out does not mean that you are never going to earn it in the future. But if you stop and you stop showing up, then how are you expecting to earn that in the future? This obstacle, it might be a test for you, but it's going to teach you something. And I promise you, it's giving you a tool you didn't know you needed to get where you want to go. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I just wanted to say, guys, if you don't decide it's your turn, it's never going to be your turn. Fucking decide. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. And on that, I'm going to end it because it's getting kind of late. But, you know, love you guys. You're all capable. And let's get to work because we got some amazing things to do. So
this is the middle of the month, guys. Do not put your foot off the gas. Keep freaking running, okay? This is where ranks are built right now when you're grinding, not at the end of the month, not at the beginning, in the middle.
But there's this Simpsons episode of when he's on a motorcycle and he's like driving in that circle thing and he slows down right before he gets to the top so he falls. Think about that. You want to make the whole circle. So instead of slowing down in the middle, speed up. If you want to end strong, don't let off the gas. All right. Talk. Bye.